The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
There he is. I was wondering if he was going to connect.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us. For your Wednesdays is where we do it. This is the safe place where our stories are told and met with compassion, love, understanding, and faith. This
wanting to join us for this live, and they do a lot of veterans outreach and things like that, and it is run by a Army veteran itself.
Nice.
So should be a good little show here. I sent it out to everybody, so let's see where all our normies are at.
Yeah, one thing that gets me is can't take and do like we normally do and slide all the way over to the side and then click on more and open more up. I'm like, seriously?
Well, apparently too, it's been lately, like if I'm in a live or something, or I try to put a green screen on, it freezes my entire live.
Well then.
But if I do it like this, where I set the green screen before I start my live, I'm good to go. And this is if I can get out of the fucking way, that's the banner that my team leader made me for the agency.
Nice.
We incorporated the MBR logo and everything into it. Looks good. What's up, everybody? If you guys are just coming in, please tap the screen. I know you have to make an appearance. I know. What up, Badger? Here's your buddy.
There's my big dopey baby.
Yeah.
What up, Badger?
Not much, Bubba. What you today?
To be honest, and something I was fixing to tell him, been having a hard time breathing all day.
Oh, that ain't no good, dude. Hey, Tim, how are you?
Nope.
Why are you on TikTok and not on your way to the fucking dock?
Because the VA likes to take and screw with us if we go and we don't take and call them first.
You go to the ER, they can't stop you.
That part.
With y'all you won't. But if they fucking,
I know. I know.
Oh, Tim's echoing really bad.
I was coughing.
That better?
Yep.
I don't know where he's at. Hey, Captain Spaulding, how are you?
I got it all.
Hey, Schaefer, something that you can do is go put your ass in a hot ass bath with some peppermint.
Got rid of the echo.
Let me see. All right, echo's gone. It seems like he fixed it.
So go sit your ass in a hot ass bath with some peppermint oil, and that'll open up your freaking lungs. That'll open up everything, dude. It's just like when Mama used to put that fucking NyQuil, or not NyQuil, what's that shit? Vapor rub on your chest.
Yeah, Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yep. That's basically what it is. You just
has already said that if I come in with it, that there's nothing they can do. I would have to go to Gainesville.
Hey, Panda.
where you at?
Southwest Georgia, southwest corner of Georgia.
So it's about 2 hours to Gainesville.
No.
Hey, Heather,
No.
how are you?
It's 4 hours from 4.
Of course, I was not going the speed limit. goes the
Yeah.
speed?
Now, I have made it a little bit faster. Dang it! Y'all gonna have to give me a minute. I've got to go get a freaking toilet paper and stuff. My foot's bleeding.
I don't know what you did. You're laying in bed.
I pulled a hangnail off. Yeah.
That'll do it. Try to send that invite to Black Dog Community again.
Yep, that'll do it with a quickness, dude.
Sure will.
I'm gonna eat my Chinese food, and because I got garlic shrimp.
Hopefully that'll be the end of that. I told them I couldn't join that. How you doing, Garden Reserve, Abe?
Doing good.
What up, Salty? It has been an insane week for me. So I'm a manager for Australia for my agency, and I'm also now a manager for the US for my agency.
Wow.
Yeah. What up, Crayola? Way to go. I don't know, it's a lot. It is a lot. So besides Larry, who is bleeding, what's new with everybody else? Nothing? Tim, are you ready for Memorial Day?
Doesn't seem like there's much going on with anybody right now.
I'd say.
Well, after 5 months of WellSpan, which is a hospital outfit up here in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, they did X-rays, CAT scans, MRIs, Pap smears, all that shit. I took my wife, to the emergency room because she lost a bunch of weight. Her hair's falling out, and everyone thinks she's dying. And
I got you, Spalding.
They did a urinalysis, and they found that she has a UTI.
Oh shit!
She's probably had that for this whole duration.
Yeah, that's not good.
And we were happy to finally hear something, because it's obvious that something's going downhill.
Hey, Sarge.
And so they give us antibiotics, what it is. So that's one thing, you know, like we don't know, like, and my in-laws are on my ass about, oh, and her friend, oh, they're dying, they're destitute, they have no food in the house. I've been doing everything. So when Lorraine says, Tim, can you not feed the cats extra wet treats and dirty a bunch of dishes for me? I know more vividly what kind of toll that takes on her. Because I'm the one cleaning the dishes. I'm the one doing the laundry, sorting the mail, paying the bills. And she does a lot of that typically. And I'm like, Lorraine, can you just do 2 things for me? And it would make my life better. You know, it would take a lot of the burden off what I'm doing. And now I understand when she better and easier. So yeah.
Hey, Sarge. Come on down here,
everybody.
So I had an idea thrown at me the other day, yesterday actually. Somebody asked me if I would do one of these, but for Gold Star families, once a week.
Nice.
That's actually not a bad idea.
And then I was talking to, hey, Cowboy, I hope you don't mind if I use your name in this. But I was talking to Cowboy and possibly doing one for Green Star families as well.
I think that'd be a good idea. A very good idea. Hey, Cowboy.
I'll probably do those and keep them to 1 hour. You know what I mean? Instead of 2 like this one, because this is already a long show for the radio station. But I think I'm going to work towards the Gold Star families and Green Star families and doing 2 separate so they have their own nights.
It's RM. Can you hear me? I just want to
do one of them on Monday night and one of them on Friday night.
Yeah, I could do that. It's a lot. My head is spinning.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself.
No, it's worth it.
No, it is. It's absolutely worth it. You know, it's 1,000% worth it. I ain't worried about that. You know, it's just how much can I put on myself at one time?
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen that gentleman all the way over there.
He was here last week and a week before.
I actually think this makes his 3rd show.
It does. For somebody who quit doing TikTok, I appreciate him being here. You're muted. We can't hear you. There we go.
I got my grapes scraped today because Artie Moeller, he's a Vietnam veteran, one of the founders from Rolling Thunder, the original founders, POWMI awareness, you know, accountability closure. He passed away and he lives in New Jersey. So I'm going to go to his funeral Saturday.
Yeah, you sir are the king of putting a lot on your plate.
Yeah, so when you say that, at the end of it, I wanted to say, this is nothing compared to, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's how I have to think sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's not a lot. I'm just saying.
Well, it's all worth it in the end. You know what I mean? Every bit of it, everything every one of us does is worth it in the end.
And it's kind of like the least in a weird way that we could do, because we all want to continue to serve, right? We'd all go back, right?
Yep.
So that's one thing I try to They.
My oath of enlistment has no expiration date.
There actually is only one person in the country that can take and stop our oath of office, and that's the man up there sitting in that big chair in the White House.
I thought I struck it rich. I found this $10 bill, but it's like only like half of one. I mean,
take it to the bank; they'll still take it.
Yeah, it's more than half.
Yep.
It's still $10.
It's more than half, and it's still got the serial number on it. They'll take it.
I'm gonna ask him for silver dollars. I'm just kidding.
I mean, realistically, silver's going up by quite a bit.
So, Sarge, you know about that too? Look, my stepdad gave us kids some silver dollars.
Yes,
They
sir.
collected over the years. We went and played. This is the 80s, early 80s. We went and played video games with them. We took them to the little like food, like the when we do the cookies and stuff at the school, the bake sales. He was so mad. My stepdad was so mad that we just threw him away like that.
I bet. I had a bunch of stuff like that.
1942 in Double Dragon or whatever it is. Like, yeah, anyway, yeah.
Well, he's reaching back to some serious video games.
Yeah, right? I remember Double Dragon and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Double Dragon movie was horrible, though.
My granddaddy back in the 80s, and I didn't know he had them until we went to my uncle's wedding, and he come home and found somebody broke into the house. But my granddaddy had pictures and had them in the house, but they were 50-cent pieces that were probably 2 inches across, and there was no dates on them. This was back, those 50-cent pieces was from back before they put dates on them.
Wow.
Wow. So, I mean, realistically, Larry, that's back in your time.
That's okay,
I'm
Larry.
going to be quiet tonight.
That means it's probably back in my time too there, Larry.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you know what's the great thing about being this old? No, I was
What's
really
that,
hoping someone could tell me.
What? You can start yelling curse words at kids and they just think you're senile?
I'm gonna say, what the fuck do you mean start?
Right.
I mean,
get the fuck off my grass, you little shit.
but the problem is when you don't realize you're doing it.
No, you realize you just don't care.
Yeah.
That part.
Attention sounded for morning colors, and these Navy guys ran in the building. So I got caught, and then I ran in the building, and they were two Navy officer, like, you know, doctors or whatever, and they're like, we had a surgery because I caught them after morning colors played, and they're like, I'm like, whatever, gentlemen, and I like walked out. It was so funny, you guys, like, because when attention sounds, you're supposed to lock your freaking body, right? Like, you don't run in, you know, like, I would.
Dude, I've seen people in their cars, like in the driver's seat, put the car in park and go sit like this in the car.
Well, I stopped cars because I stood right in the middle of the road, and I waited until Carry On was played. Like, I waited after that, and then I moved on because they were driving through it, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously, the officer's wife didn't report me, but whatever.
I'm so glad I never stood at one of the gates at any of the posts, dude, because the stuff they have to deal with, like, it's all over TikTok and Facebook and respect my husband's rank. Oh, it's ridiculous.
No, talking about
I drove this aviator, like major captain, and his wife through the gate, and he had got in drunken disorderly conduct walking through the gate before that, and it was so cool because they like I showed them the IDs, you know, and they salute. I'm like, carry on, gentlemen, and then I just moved forward, you know, like it was just funny, but. And the officer and his wife were laughing their asses off in the back, you know, seat. It was fun. Carry on, gents, you know, like whatever. Like.
It was funny. I dated this girl when I was in the Army. That her dad was a CW4. And of course it showed that rank on his daughter's vehicle that we was in. And I think I was at that time 20 in a car with the rank of a CW4, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Well, for multiple reasons. One, you never see a CW.
Yeah. I mean, no, I can't say that because when we deployed the second time, we had a CW4 as our commander for half of our deployment until our major came in and was our commander.
So I'm out of work right now, and I'm applying at this children's prison. In Pennsylvania, they call it like a child development center, you know. They make it sound so sweet, you know, and I'm just applying because, you know, I'm out of work. I got some military type, you know, gigs coming up, whatever. Like at my salute, cowboy, I'm going to whip on some sword manual this year. Like have the sword with me and when the bike's in, I'm going to present sword a little bit, you know, mix it up a little bit. You know, make it special in self-preservation, maybe a little bit, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna try now. I know if I don't do my shit straight, social media is gonna eat my ass alive. I think I only got one cheek left, you know. When you put yourself out there, I'm just telling you, it's intense, you guys. There's no rides for my ass, okay? Like
dude, you're a better man than me because I wouldn't be doing it.
Well, I just like people expect it.
Well, I'm too fat too, so.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm left-handed. I didn't even use this hand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I just.
I'm a switch hitter.
Well, I use my thighs actually. I don't even use my hands. I just push it between the thighs.
You did say that last time.
I know it's a rerun, but it really works. So, especially when you have to have your brother in the shower with you because there's 6 fucking kids, and I got to hit one off real quick. So I just push it between my legs. But anyway, we're poor. We're so fucking poor. I swear to God. My mom would cut her hair. She smoked the whole time. So I would beg the neighbors to let me mow their lawn for $5. Okay, because $5 would get me a haircut. You guys.
Yeah, and that's the time you didn't have to have your mom put the chili bowl on your head and cut around it.
Try getting a haircut somewhere for $5 now.
Yeah,
it's $40 now, and even near the bases, they hear you get a pay raise, they jack that up too. You know.
Yeah.
And on the base, everything should be dirt cheap. But it's a nonprofit that wants to make all this money to help. And they alienate outside sources because we need to learn how to use the outside world. They don't need to shelter the families to just the base. But
what's up, JSA?
MWR became MCCS, and that's how it's become, on the Marine side,
I went to AIT at Fort Bliss. Our drill sergeant, his brother had a barbershop off base and would take us off base to his brother's barbershop so he would get the money for our haircuts.
Shit, I did basic and AIT at Benning.
Well, in Okinawa, we have a Oki Marine newspaper, and there's a $3 coupon off your haircut. There was only like $6 to begin with. Oh my gosh. Everybody would grab that newspaper, right? To get that coupon.
Hey, Brady.
No, yeah, Lorraine's dancing and she gets off. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not waiting for Lorraine. She's at home. She had a UTI. They didn't find for like 4 months. We all thought she was passing away. And I told her, yeah, I think I smell an odor. And I asked her if she could like masculinate that shit. And she goes, Tim, that's not good. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just thought I'd eat my salad and whatever the case may be and go with it, Like we're not beggars, not choosers. We just dive in and shit. Well, it was a UTI. And no, I'm just whoring around tonight. I was at happy hour and I'm gonna go play some pool, but she already called me, so my time's fucking limited tonight. And I did get really depressed. I know this is what this is mainly about. I got this funeral. I got a dedication for another guy Sunday. I got Rolling to Remember coming up. I'm sick. I'm not in any kind of shape to do my salute. And I'm feeling a lot of pressure. I'm just feeling a lot of pressure on the home front. And I got to find a job. And I have an internship, Cowboy, at the VA for my social work master's degree next fall, which is a really good thing. It's with the homeless outreach department. But I feel a hell of a lot of pressure on me right now. And I was like tearing up at the bar during happy hour. And, it happened to any of us. This can happen to any of us. And we won't talk about it. We'll just suck it up, And I'm not trying to like perpetrate myself to anybody to need any kind of anything from anybody, because I reevaluated what's important in my life and getting a job, paying some bills, paying the bills, and, marching forward because we're here.
Yeah,
we're
but
here.
You got to be able to decompress every now and then too. You have to, because if you don't decompress, it's just going to be overwhelming and you're going to end up blowing up. You know what I mean? It's going to become too much at some point.
Well, what I'm fixing to do, I'm fixing to take the class so I can become peer support at the VA.
Wow.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, I already work at the VA, so why not?
Yeah.
It's just sad at the VA to be a peer counselor of any sort. Why? Like, because we fight the demons ourselves. Why do we have to like it's kind of like they're going to save your house a few years ago when the economy tanked, but you have to be in the rears a few months before they're going to do a loan modification. You know what I mean? So why do we have to say, oh, I got admitted for that at the VA in order to be a peer counselor?
Yeah, that doesn't make
sense.
sense.
Respects.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
I'm just saying, I don't know shit. I'm just damn okay, you guys.
Well, because I'm wanting to do the peer support with the mental health department, but and of course with myself being a Green Star dad myself, I can understand what people are going through more than some people can on certain situations.
Sure.
You know, and whenever it comes to like the PTSD and stuff like that, which I think I am one of those people that thinks that gets thrown around more than it should. People stub their toe and they and I know it's not that bad, but that's what it seems like a lot of times anymore. People stub their toe and, oh my God, I got PTSD over it.
Yeah.
No, people, if people get diagnosed with that, I think it needs to be stricter to be diagnosed. No, to be diagnosed with something like that.
I'm gonna tell you, for my PTSD, I went to 6 different exams for it, and they went through like my whole service record from overseas, how I got my combat action badge. Like they went through everything.
So it's I went through my records today with the VA, and I got out in 97, just so y'all know. I wasn't awarded my PTSD until September of 2016. It took that long.
Wow. Yeah, so I got back in 2005, and then I got my first like small rating for the PTSD in 2016, and then finally 20 years later I got the big rating for it. Took 20 years.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten the big rating. I'm still fighting for secondaries. And
so, Cowboy, I don't know what you do at the VA, but in my interview for the internship, I'm like,
what up, Christopher?
Maybe we can like not have any arguments in public when a vet's at the window.
Yeah, they do.
Whether it's their fault or not. Maybe you can take them to a private space and the customer's always right mentality, and find a way to communicate and get through it. You know, like there are some pretty easy fixes to a lot of stuff. You know, I'm just.
Yeah, Heather, it's kind of a nightmare, honestly.
Wow.
Well, right now, saluting Marine. Right now I'm in the housekeeping department with the VA, and my wife has been a nurse with the VA for over 13 years now.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's definitely a long time.
And I overheard emergency room person tell a vet that got told to come and get his meds. They're ready for pickup over their phone. They didn't say come during visiting hours. You know, they didn't say. And the emergency guy goes, it's not like you're going to DIE.
Wow.
That's one of the things I talk about when I was in New York. I think it was like maybe 2014 or 2015. There was an older veteran that walked into the ER and said he was going to become one of the 22. They told him he was not a danger to himself, and he walked out into the parking lot and became one of the 22 right outside of the VA doors.
And another unacceptable thing at the VA, if I ever get in that authoritative position, is we will not cancel mental health appointments.
Yeah, that's ridiculous the way they do that.
It just happens. I'm sure there are reasons, Cowboy. Look, I want to work for the VA, so I'm not dogging it or anything. I'm blessed I have some kind of support, okay? Like, but I've seen it happen with me, and I've been asking around, and it happens. Like, I don't know. It's not just
No, you're absolutely right. And Now I'm not gonna lie, and it's not because I work at the VA, but people dogging on the VA because the VA literally saved my life. Okay. And I know there's many of us out there that the VA has saved our lives. If it is a valid thing, if it is truly valid, and someone starts saying, the VA did this and did that and everything, and it's valid, hey, you know what? Say what you got to say. I'm probably right there with you. But if it's just dogging on the VA because everyone else dogs on the VA, yeah, I'm going to get pissed.
Yeah.
Well,
understandable,
I don't like where people turn people off from applying for their benefits. You know what I mean? Like, that's wrong. Even if you had a bad experience at this VA, doesn't mean you should turn away a fellow veteran that should apply for his shit or her shit.
Oh, yeah, no,
right?
I'm going to tell you now, it took me a long time to find a VA that actually that I liked and a doctor that I liked. And this one here, they went through, they listened, they're like fixed a bunch of my issues that I've been dealing with for 20 years. This one's actually on its shit. They said they weren't going to push meds on me if I didn't want meds for my mental health stuff. Like,
here's what people need to understand that go to the VA.
Hey, Kevin.
We, as the veterans, we are the ones that are in charge of our health care. Not those doctors, not those nurses. We are the people that are in charge of our health care. And if something is going on that we don't like, our two favorite words needs to be patient advocate.
And that's one of the things. I know a lot of us. I didn't. A lot of us don't ask for the patient advocate.
Well, yeah.
And I'm one of those.
When I heard that it's not like you're getting a DIE, but yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Because, and you make sure that the patient advocate is doing their damn job, because if we don't stand up for ourselves and everyone there start standing up for themselves, then the VA is going to continue getting away with their bullshit, and they're going to continue doing it.
Yeah, but we're so programmed to do what we're told to do, right?
And that's why I try to tell people like this, because look, I've been on both sides.
How are you,
when
Shauna?
it comes to the VA. I've been the patient, and I've been the employee. And either way, it needs to be about the patient. Either way. And if you're at a VA and someone's not about the veteran, well, they need to be turned in, for one. And second off, whenever it comes to your own health care, you know your body better, your body physically, mentally, everything better than those doctors do.
Yeah.
You know what, if they're going to try you on something that you've tried before and you know it doesn't work, speak up. And then if they still try to push it on you, you're like, no. If you're going to keep it up, if you're not going to listen to me, we're going to patient advocate, because you're going to do it like I want you to do it.
Maybe that's more classes that need to be given. Yep. Good.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And most of the time with those doctors, you say those two words, patient advocate, and they shut up all of a sudden and they want to listen to you.
You ain't wrong.
I mean, that's something I should start voicing that too, because some of the people at the VA are, something else.
But
Because sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
We're trained to go with the flow. We're trained to follow orders. We're trained to like medical professionals. I never questioned the doc. I just did what the doc told me to do. And when the guy tried to put drugs on me on the second therapist session, he goes, "Here's a form of METH for your adult ADHD." I'm like, well, I got two questions. Will my teeth fall out any quicker? And will I lose any amendment rights? And then I felt awkward after that, because I denied it. We said no. Tim's not. Can I get a back massage first? I mean, can we get a few therapy sessions first before that has to come in the picture?
Well, unfortunately, that's what they're trained to do is push meds. A lot of them.
And the deal is, it comes down to one simple thing. If you're not going to push and push for what's right for yourself, who's going to?
That part.
Yeah, but we don't know. It's medical. It's, we want to get better. We're thinking that these people, we should trust them,
So that's whenever you tell them, okay, let's say I do agree with what you're trying to do. Now I want you to tell me in detail why you want me on this, or you want me to do this, and don't just blow me off. I want you to tell me
Miss Timmy, that does happen.
Detail.
You have to
look out for yourself, and if they start balking you, once again, patient advocate.
Well, it's one of those things like saluting Marine saying, you know what I mean? Most docs that we've dealt with throughout our military career is drink water, change your socks, here's some 800 milligram ibuprofen, walk it off. You're fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's ingrained into our heads from every doc in the military.
Absolutely.
I had a penicillin shot once.
And I was the same way. And honestly, it took my wife, who is a civilian, but she's dealt with the VA system for so long, for now over 13 years. She's dealt with it whenever we first got together. She'd already been dealing with the VA system for, I think, six years. And so she didn't have that ingrained in her. So let's just say it in a way that the military did it. I got a new brainwashing. I got something new ingrained in me, and it was putting myself first.
That's one thing we all have to learn. Every one of us.
And does it have its challenges still? Absolutely. It probably always will, because no matter what, I'm still that soldier. I'm still that grunt.
Yeah.
But I've had to learn where to loosen the grip a little bit. Maybe not a whole lot. You don't necessarily have to loosen that grip a whole lot. Just loosen that grip just enough where you're putting your own needs before the needs of others sometimes.
Again,
Because
that's something that we all have to, it's retraining ourselves to do that, because we're so used to putting other people first. I'm horrible at that. I don't put myself first in nothing.
If you don't mind, I'd like to ask y'all a question that I've been known to ask before. And I've had many people tell me, I hate that question. No, you don't hate the question. You hate your answer. But if you was to sit down with a pen and paper and start, yes, I do still think about a pen and paper. I'm that old.
But for you, isn't it a scroll?
Go quit it.
You know, it's
a hammer and a chisel. Come on, now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hammer and chisel. But if you was to sit down with a pen and paper and start making a list of all the things in this world that you absolutely love, how far will you go down that list before you name yourself?
It wouldn't even be there. It wouldn't even be there.
Yeah. If it was on the list, it'd be the last thing.
I love my thighs.
We know you do.
Miss Timmy.
And that's what most people.
Talk?
Sorry.
Everyone's trying to talk at the same time.
Go ahead, Cowboy. No, go ahead, Cowboy.
And that is what most people's answer is. And before I lost my son and before I started going through the counseling and trying to learn how to not become another statistic, shall we say, it took a lot of retraining. It took a lot of, and to be able to do that kind of retraining, you have to be willing to allow yourself to be yourself. Not who someone else told you have to be. But you need to be able to learn how to introduce yourself to the person that you see in the mirror. And that's not easy. It's not easy at all. But if you honestly, folks, if you don't learn how to put yourself first, you can't truly take care of others. Because as it has always been said, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I was told that before too by one of my therapists. They're like, you're doing so much and you're not filling your own cup at all. And she's like, when your cup's empty, what are you going to do? Like, you can't do anything.
And to answer your question, I guess it's Captain Spaulding. I lost my son as being one of the 22 a day.
Captain Spaulding is also a Green Star.
Okay. And that's all I'm mentally prepared to say about it right now.
Yeah. I delivered cannabis for a guy and he had Air Force hat on. I'm like, outstanding, Air Force. Thank you for your service. He goes, and I didn't serve it, my son. I'm like, oh. And it was just an ugly mess. He'd missed he had 4 mental health meetings canceled. And the Air Force didn't know if he was UA or on leave or anything. And then they only communicated to the widow and not to him. And, I think next to kin should be the parents too, not just the widow,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Very ugly.
Absolutely.
Miss Libby down in the chat, she's been on a really unfortunate transportation of trying to find the right therapist. It took her a long time, at the VA. So I'm sure if you want to bring her up, I'm going to go play a pool before my parole officer texts me and says, "Tim, where the fuck are you?" Okay.
All right, Tim.
But nice to see you.
Yeah, hey, remember, you're on a time limit.
Good to see you, Tim.
You too. And I'll see you.
We'll see you,
soon.
buddy.
Later, buddy.
See you later, Tim.
Later, Tim. Or whenever it comes to that question that I asked, Amy down there in the comments is one of my biggest fans whenever it comes to me asking that question.
Dude, that was a rough question. Made me think.
What was the question? Did I miss it?
That's what it's okay. May I say it again?
Yes, absolutely.
And that'll make Amy happy too. If you was to sit down with a pen and paper and start making a list of all the things in this world that you absolutely 100% love, how far would you go down that list before you name yourself?
That's fucked up.
Well, you know what? It's funny
like
because that was the first thing that hit my head too. I'm like, that's fucked up. I wouldn't even be on a list. Fuck.
But you know what? I can honestly say after a few years after I lost my son the way I did.
Well, the most messed up part about that to me personally is that I always tell people, like I did in the comments just now, yes, put yourself first, because if you're not healthy, you can't provide for anyone. Yet I would still not even be on my own list.
Yep.
It's
I'm number one on my list. I am honestly number one on my list.
I mean, I am now, damn it. Thanks.
My wife is number two. My wife is number two. My kids are number three, and that includes the step kids. And then there's everybody and everything else.
What's up, Sarge?
So I do these every week. On Wednesdays, Mental Health Live. We talk different issues, VA healthcare, mental health, just what's going on during the week. And sometimes we just cut up and have a good time. I only allow veterans in the boxes on Wednesdays because we need an outlet. So you're more than welcome anytime. But I just started it because we needed a voice.
I mean, I'm also a vet. I'm not trying to take a box from anyone.
You're fine right now. You're good.
I like what you're doing. And it's always good to talk to fellow vets, especially about that question was amazing.
That question fucked me up, cowboy.
Damn right.
You're welcome, Sarge.
At least I'm not the only one that fucked up.
Speaking of which, Steph, Sarge, I was thinking I was going to cover from 7 to 9. You take over at your time from 9 to 11 my time. And we'll run it continuous for 4 hours and get everybody talking. What do you think about that?
We probably work something out for sure.
I'm thinking we can run back to back.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was posed a question yesterday. I was brought into a Snapchat group for Captain Spaulding about doing a Gold Star Family Live. And then I was talking to Cowboy, and Cowboy was like, well, if you're going to do that, don't forget the Green Star families too. So and Larry posed a good schedule, like Mondays and Fridays. I'll split them up. So Mondays will be Gold Star, Friday will be Green Star, and Wednesdays will be Warrior Wednesday, like always. However, I will probably do the Friday and Monday lives a little earlier than this. Just because I've already got a really long radio program with 2 hours as it is. I'm like the longest show they have on there.
Hey, Sarge.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarge. Miss Tibby down there, male only panel. Absolutely not. It's a veteran only panel if you're a veteran.
Yep. Like Garden Reserve Aid was in here earlier. Bradley Veteran will probably be in a little while. She'll come in after she gets the kids to bed. And I am Miss Tibby. You can come up. We are trying to get more female veterans up here too because of the stigma, and I'm sure you've noticed it. You go to the store, you park in a veteran parking spot, and somebody's like, "Well, where's your husband?"
Well, come on up, Miss Tibby.
Oh, you can absolutely come up, and stuff like that is bullshit.
And as far as a female veteran, please come up. The smell's getting rank up here.
Right. See if we get Miss Sarge in here. Miss Sarge is a female veteran. My wife's a female veteran.
You can come up. You know that.
Come on now.
Smells like crayons and Axe up in this bitch.
Axe is so like 1998, dude. No, I'm good. How you doing, Miss Tibby?
I'm doing good. Give me 1 second. Make sure my audio's adjusted. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
No, I like the topics that you guys were sharing, especially when it came to discussing veteran care.
Like I said, this is a weekly thing. We are streamed live on Military Broadcast Radio. You are more than welcome to come up any week. We'd love to have you. Again, I've been asked by the other female veterans that are normally in here, like Emo's normally in here. Brady will be in here later. And it's the same thing. We need more females.
Well, I'm already following half the people in here, so.
Well, that's a good start.
I try to panel some of the veteran groups and stuff like that, because I like there to be a female perspective on some of these.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We need some brains every once in a while.
That we do.
I was actually going to bring up VA mental health care. But now that you're up here and you're wanting to give a woman's perspective, I'm curious. I've had a rough time trying to nail down a provider for.
Hey, Miss Sarge.
For mental health care with the VA. How has your experience been, or have you even broached it?
Hey, Hope.
I have broached it, and it's been kind of off and on for me, mostly because my providers tend to come and go as they change their positions. And so sometimes I find a really great provider, and then they end up transitioning out of their position, and it takes me a little bit to find a new one. I've been transitioned out of probably 8 providers in the last year.
My first one did that. They transitioned out of the VA, and then my second one had a family emergency, so canceled our first visit. I had a family emergency, so I canceled our second visit, and then the third visit fell on a holiday Friday, and the provider wasn't even in the office.
Right.
And then the next weekend, the next Friday, I didn't even get a call, and I'm wondering what's going on. And then later the next week, I got a email, or not a email, I got a snail mail in the mail from the VA saying I missed 3 appointments.
Right.
And they were turning me off.
I've gotten crap like that too. I totally understand that debacle. What I found here in the Las Vegas VA is I have a direct extension to my providers. So if there's anything snafu-y going on, if I can't be there, I call the main office, and then I also send them a direct message. So I don't get one of those snail mail emails saying, hey, you missed this.
Miss Tibby, it's funny you're in Las Vegas, because when I joined, I actually joined the Nevada National Guard out of Henderson.
Oh, yeah?
I used to live on Sahara and Decatur in Las Vegas.
I live 3 miles from the main VA hospital.
Okay, I know exactly where that's at.
But I've been able to cut out a lot of the guesswork as far as the mental health department goes, with being able to not only communicate with the mental health office, but also with the main provider, because I have their extension. So if they don't get the message through the main operating board, I also send them a message. Also, you can use the VA app, and you can also accomplish the same thing.
I had no idea there was an app.
Yeah, I didn't know there was an app either.
Really?
Nope.
Hell, I worked for the VA and I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Yeah. For the VA, there's an app for that.
Well, after that BS last year over Memorial Day where they dropped me, I had
Loki
to try to get it set back up. When I first started, it was 4 months before they even did their initial reach out with the onboarding. 4 months. And I don't need it every day. I'm not like unhinged, guys. I just have a bunch of shit I need to talk
We're
about.
all a little unhinged. It's okay.
But it's not like I'm not gonna harm myself is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I'm not there. I need this as a service, but it's been a year since I've even done anything with it because it took so fucking long to onboard the first time. And then being cut off felt like a slap in the fucking face. So I just said, fuck it.
I've been there too. Before I came to Las Vegas, I lived out in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, and my access to VA services was nil. I was stuck between either going to Reno or Las Vegas because I lived nowhere. And it was so hard for me to get access to healthcare. I actually had to move to Las Vegas to actually get myself established, to actually get consistent care.
That's ridiculous. Thankfully, I'm not there. Like I need the help. I know I need the help, but I'm getting by just fine right now. So I hate that for you.
Sarge, I hate to do this, but my charger's not keeping up, so I'm gonna have to hop out, Bubba.
All right, Cowboy. I appreciate you coming in.
Meet you.
Good to meet you, Cowboy.
Good to meet y'all. I followed everybody in here. I believe I did, and if I didn't, I'll catch you next time.
All right, Cowboy. I'll talk to you later, Bubba.
Cowboy out.
But yeah, Tib, I think I need to jump back on it, even if it is going to be another.
HR, I don't know what you want me to check, dude.
What?
I'm talking to the radio station.
All right, so, Tyrant. So currently, the wait time listed on the VA is 135 days. You could subvert that if you got very good local VSO, and I would tell you to press that VSO, give them a call, give them a whatever you got to do.
Well, here's the thing: when I first initiated, it was 4 months and it could not be subverted. And me and the VSO are actually friends. We're in the Jeep Club together. I moved and built my dream house a county over.
Thanks for follow, Frogman.
This VSO is not around. Like
All right,
they
brother.
never answer their phone. They never return phone calls.
Loki.
No.
And I would go back to with what Tim said.
Yeah, Nightmare, I see the hate comments.
If you're not getting
I can't
responses, they need to be
I can't go
reported.
live on my main account, but I'm not going to be on here long. I want to give you guys some information. So there's a form. It's called a DD2807-1, DD2807-2. It's your medical history report. It raises your percentages up. And also, Ms. Tibby,
Yes, ma'am.
if you file for a Federal Tort Claims Act or the form, they take 30 days to respond. The Federal Tort Claims is negligence due to the duty under the scope of work. It falls underneath the Ferris Doctrine. I can email you the PDF. You send to a VSO. And just so all you guys know, no VSO by law can charge you money to pull any medical history report. It's different from the
Yeah.
214.
Thank you, Trouble. Yeah, Tyrant, I'm 100% TNP too.
But it's different from your DD214. And TAPS does not tell people this. I've been working with Corey Mills, the congressman, he was a veteran, to get TAPS to give this information to veterans when they get out. It's called DD2807-1, and the second form is DD2807-2.
Can you follow up with me on that information?
Yeah, absolutely. I followed you on my main account, which is Hope.
Oh, I just followed you on this account, so.
Yeah, I did. Well, you'll see my other one, but I don't come on this one. I got bananered for arguing with a man saying he was a woman, so that's why I'm on this one. But I will send you it in the PDF. You submit it to a VSO, and if they do not respond in 30 days, then you could actually charge them for liability of the Federal Tort Claims Act, which came out in 1946. Because they have to have the Federal Tort Claims Act is like the same thing as the burn pits, which I'm sure you guys know, in Agent Orange. So it's negligence under the duty scope of work. And any VSO by law has to submit it. They will never charge you. And any nonprofit will have a VSO for two reasons. One, for your medical records, and two, to make sure you're not stolen valor, because a lot of people take advantage of veterans. So if you come across a nonprofit that says that they're for veterans, by law, federal law, they have to have a VSO for those reasons.
I went through my VSO locally, actually here at the Las Vegas hospital. And can't say I was a fan of them, but they did help me, accomplish some stuff.
I will say the VSO that I tried to work with outside of Little Rock didn't even know how to file anything or use a computer.
Well, you know what the only person that could become a VSO is a spouse or a veteran. I'm a civilian. You know, my brother had served, family have served. I can never, and I know more than a full bird. The VA does not like me. And also, if you guys have any problem with veteran stuff, if you go on register.gov, right, and you make an account, when the VA Oversight Committee puts bills out there, they open it publicly for 30 days for you guys to say anything, and nobody comments. Nobody. It's me and one other person. It's just.
I would love for you to follow up with me on this one, like on a DM, because
absolutely.
Yeah, Hope, get with me too. Listen, I've known Hope for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I will jump on that in a heartbeat.
I've known her for a long time, and even though she's a civilian, she does more for veterans and like for as far as like healthcare stuff and getting information out than a lot of people that I know.
You know what's important though? So if 1% serves, and being a civilian, I will always appreciate the service people have sacrificed. But if I can educate people, other civilians, the other 99% that haven't served, I'm going to do it. The children in the military get only 10 therapy sessions when they lose a parent to killed in action or suicide. The veterans that take their lives don't get a gravestone. Like April was just Brats Awareness Month. That's children in the military. Nobody knows these things because they don't care, but they want to take off Memorial Day weekend. It's forever standing. For instance, not just my brother, but my best friend, right? I met her on TikTok a couple of years ago. She was a mother to a Marine who took his life, right? He was 25 years old. You know what she did? Not even a year later, she took her life.
I know. I was there for that, and her and I had become really good friends.
Yeah,
she used to come in my life. She used to come in my lives all the time.
Yeah, so being a civilian, I also want to give the other people support, you know? But civilians don't mean it, and it pisses me off. You guys should have jobs. Like, have veterans get jobs depending on their MOS. Like, what they did should be credited for. You know, to be sitting on a waiting list is bullshit.
Well, I just messaged my VSO that was in the county I used to live in that I'm friends with. Hopefully he gives me some input.
Yeah, ask them for the, I'll put in the comments. There's 2 different forms. There's the same thing. So the DD2807 is different from your DD214. It's everything from all the shots and aspirin and everything from when you were enlisted to when you get out. And it is in, if you were in the Army, it was in, it's stored in the meds, that's the facility that they hold your medical records. But you can request that, and it will raise your percentage levels up too.
I don't need that. I'm talking about them dropping the ball on the mental health coverage that I had, and me being without a provider for the last year.
Do you know who Scott Main is?
No.
Do you ever see Sean Ryan show? Joe Rogan?
Yeah, not got a lot of faith in either one of them at the moment.
I just
All right.
said no.
Scott Mann was one of the gentlemen that released us funding money to Afghanistan. And he's a personal friend of mine, but he works with this nonprofit called 22-0, and it's ran by, and it's national. It's not just within state, it's national.
Not to cut anybody off, but let me, I just need to answer this comment that came in through YouTube. Harry, it's not disrespect. We're telling our own issues and things that we've had with the VA. It's our own stuff that we dealt with dealing with the VA. All right, you guys can continue.
Oh, and one other thing, because I want you guys to really fathom this, and then I'm going to get off. So depending on what your MOS is, right? When you get out of the military, some people go into certain job descriptions. So if you're in infantry, most infantrymen have a hard time getting a job. 11 Bravos, 0311s, right? So they go into a field or may register with the VA. Now, if you're in logistics, I have a Marine friend of mine that got out of the Marines and now works for the IRS. His insurance benefits are better at the IRS, which is where he's currently working, so he doesn't register with the VA. So the 22 a day was based on a report in 2010 off of only registered veterans, not the ones that were processed, not the ones that were registered. The 22 a day is a lot higher than what people think it is.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot higher than that.
We know it is.
Yeah, I did it in 2021. Active duty, 2021, with every branch, even Space Force just starting in 2021, was 31 a day in every branch, roughly, the average. I had to file for a FOIA to get that information.
I came out of the military as a logistician, and I went right back into serving the Navy as a civil servant for another 9 years. In the same line of, service, I guess. And I worked for the Navy for another 9 years, and I was still grossly underpaid.
It's another thing. You have people that serve that their pay is so low that they end up getting in relationships. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not downsizing that, And then they deal with legalities and divorce, and then people taking your fucking paycheck.
Contractors is the way to go. I'm a work from home AFSO, and I absolutely love my job, and it pays very well.
I felt like going back into civil service after I left military service was me still doing a civic duty. And ultimately that wasn't valued.
And as a civilian myself, if you help veterans, you help so many other people, because I'm not going to get into it, but I'm a psychology major, right? I'm a domestic violence victim. If you help veterans with PTSD, you could help sexual abuse victims, domestic violence, and so much more, because it becomes more accurate when you have the small amount, and you can pinpoint it. And if you guys are struggling, I will say the VA does cover EMDR. It's a really high intense treatment. It's eye movement desensitization response. Navy SEALs use it all the time. It has a 98% success rate. So
my therapist is actually working on that for me.
Yeah, EMDR is very intense, so just be prepared for it. But it brings out everything. It's very intense.
Hey,
but it's
Frog.
good. Yeah, sir.
Going back to what you said a while ago for 2021, that number
Does this
is
room got
actually,
going? Yeah, it does. You can come up, wise man.
Is actually now in the upper 70s, low 80s a day.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's high. And
I
that's
knew
just
it was high. I didn't
registered.
realize it was that high.
It's that, but that's just registered veterans, not the homeless veterans, not the ones that got other than dishonorable discharge because of PTSD and went AWOL. That's the veterans that may have gotten a job and had insurance through another, maybe they got a contracting job. That it's so.
Veterans that got left behind.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
that number is for everybody from active duty all the way to veterans that are at the VA.
Yeah, but they don't even give counseling packets when you guys go overseas. You guys know that, right?
All right, Sarge, you have a good night, brother. I know that 0445 comes very early. Thank you for joining.
Active duty right now, like I have tons of friends that are active duty and dealing with mental health stuff, and they're like, they don't give like counseling packets. Like, it's cool to have tough love, you know what I mean?
What up, Operation Vets?
Tough love only
All of
works
them.
when you're in basic training.
Thanks, Doc.
But you never see someone in the space where sitting there and talking about mental health because they're filling out an application for Starbucks. Sorry.
Well,
I had
just
to
wanted
say
to
it.
step up here real quick, just to say hello to all you. Just get a familiar face. I'm Wiseman. I've been following some of you for quite a minute. I want to tell you, Cowboy's been growing quite significantly. Took a break from the boxes today, but definitely wanted to come up and say hello.
Operation Vets, we're talking mental health and VA issues, but if you'd like to come up and have a box, I'd like to hear more about what you do with the fishing trips.
Oh yeah, he's another great
I'd
one.
like to hear more about that too.
He gets them down there, gets them over to where they go fishing and stuff like that. He's great. He's great people.
That's
All
awesome.
right. I just wanted to stop in and say hello. Glad you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great stuff.
Wise man, we do this every Wednesday, so anytime you want to come in, you're more than welcome.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, no worries, brother.
It was so kind.
Just like that, he was gone.
He was so
Listen,
kind.
I'm gonna bounce.
didn't even
I
get a chance
love
to- I didn't
every
even
single
get a
one of you.
chance to save him.
Thank you all so much for what you're doing. I will definitely be back.
All right, Tyrant. You have a good night, brother.
Night, Tyrant.
And
And then
Brady, I'm sure Operation Vets with Nets has a VSO. So if you need that information, ask, like all nonprofits, every 501c3 has to have one.
How you doing, Operation Vets?
We're doing well, doing well. You guys, how you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm kind of holding in there, waiting on a doctor's appointment month after next to have C2 to C6 fixed in my neck. So.
Oh wow, yeah. I deal with my S3,
Thank you, Brady.
S4, and S5 on my back.
Well, the thing about it is I wouldn't have this much issue and as much pain as I'm in. And you can ask Step Sarge because me and him talk about it quite a bit.
That we do.
The app. Back in 2008, the VA had a chance to send me to Houston, Texas.
Okay, Frogman.
To get the disc between C3 and C4 and C4 and C5 fixed. And from what I was told, 6 months to 9 months recoup and heal time, and then I could go back to work. But the VA refused to pay for it.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
So
I'd love to hear more about what you do, bud. I like fishing.
Yeah, I'd like to hear some more about his fishing trips.
Oh, well, we are a 501c3. I started back in the heart of COVID in 2021. And what we do is we try to provide vets, what we call real therapy. So We run trips year round. Where there are some organizations out there that they'll do a couple events a year, but we sit there and we have close to 95 volunteer captains in about 25 different states. So folks get to go if they want to partake. They would go to our website and they'd sign up, and then our scheduler would reach out to the local captains in their area, get them scheduled, and we get them on the water for a day of, as I said, what we call real therapy. It costs them nothing. It's all our captains are volunteers. We all eat up that cost. And it's a blessing giving back to my own community. I'd say probably about 65% of our captains are veterans themselves. The other amount are civilians that just have a heart for our veterans as well. So it's a way that after I retired back in 2005 and dealing with my depression and stuff like that in 2021, it was just a way to provide therapy for me, and it's just as therapeutic, more so taking folks out. So that,
I'll be honest,
in a nutshell, is pretty much what we do.
That's kind of why I started this therapy for myself, to get out of my own head, but then it kind of turned into a therapy session for everybody, and I just love giving everybody a voice and letting them tell their stories and things like that. Where are you based out of?
Our headquarters is here in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay.
I have a lake house on Lake Gaston as well in North Carolina, and that's where I actually started. I started the organization there, but being that I'm home more here in Chesapeake, Virginia, so that's why I just started the headquarters here. And over the last 3.5 years, like I said, we're now in 25 different states, and just doing what the good Lord called us to do.
Hey, Johnny, you guys wouldn't be in Missouri, would you?
We are.
Oh, nice.
I've heard of similar programs here around Nevada, Idaho, Oregon.
The closest thing we have out in that way, we're up in Northern California. We've got 2 captains up that way. Most of our folks are really concentrated here on the East Coast, Pennsylvania and down. Then we start to move out west as far as Texas, and then all those middle states. And people hear about us and they want to get involved. So not only, obviously, we take vets out, but folks that want to volunteer, because we mainly, as you can see, there's a catfish on my logo. So that's mainly what we fish for. But some places, depending on the season, it might be muskie, it might be walleye, it might even be saltwater. So even though we are founded on taking folks out catfishing, I'm not going to turn down a captain and say, hey, you fish for muskie all year or whatever, and you want to give back to our vets. I'm not going to tell you no. So
that's awesome, dude. That's awesome what you're doing.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Similar groups just like yours, which are totally awesome, by the way. So cool. I think the ones that I hear around here are on the rivers, on the Snake River, around Idaho, and stuff like that. They also do rafting and fishing trips.
Oh, right on. Great deal.
It's really cool. And they offer those trips to veterans, and wow.
So we're here in Minnesota too. In my area, we have the Fishing with Vets, and obviously in Minnesota, we're the land of 10,000 lakes. So we have a lot of little programs like that too. And Fishing with Vets is a huge thing, and I guess in the tri-state area where I am. So like Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wisconsin. Sometimes I go out with them. They even have female vet days, and you have to catch however many fish or a certain type of fish, and then you can get a prize or whatnot. But we have a huge thing here too with the Fishing with Vets, and
that's
pretty
awesome. And it is. What we've learned. I mean, the stuff that the stories that we hear on the vets and the feedback we get, because every time now, I just recently started a survey. So in our system, once that mission is complete, and I indicate it's complete, or the captain and whoever changes the status to complete, it automatically sends them out a survey. And so we get some feedback from those guys as well, which is is paramount, because I think the only way we can continue to grow and offer the services that we do is getting feedback from our vets.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
We support each other. Absolutely.
That's what it's about. And so we've got captains now that, like, for instance, what I'm going to start doing here the next month or two is I've got some rods that are about a year old. They're still, immaculate. But I'm going to start, like, if I'm taking a vet out and they catch their personal best, saying they catch a 25, 30-pound catfish, whatever rod and reel they caught that on, when we're done, they don't know it, but I'm giving that to them.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've done that. We've also now I just had a challenge coin design that looks identical to our logo, and then it's got some different stuff on the back.
Oh wow!
And so some captains, if for instance they catch their personal best, the guys that have the challenge coins, they'll give them a challenge coin, or I don't tell people, they buy them in bulk from me, my captains. So, and I let them disperse them as they will. Some guys, probably do 5-6 trips a week because they're retired, and that would get pretty costly, even if they're paying just less than $10 a coin. That can get pretty costly, but we find that little things like that just mean the world, to our vets. And I know how it is when somebody gives me a challenge coin, because I know the history of the challenge coin. Being 20 years in the Navy, I've got tons of them. And so that in each challenge coin has, a meaning behind it and a memory for me. So, and that's what we're trying to do is do the same thing there as well.
That's amazing, dude. That is absolutely amazing.
I want to hug you right now. That's so awesome.
Hey, Vet, do you got any captains down in Florida?
I do. I have one captain. Let me see. Hold on a minute. Let me pull up here. He does mainly salt water. Well, yeah, that's what he does. So hold on a minute. I can pull up here and tell you what
the fact that you said he does mainly saltwater when you're talking about Florida.
I know.
I went to high school down in Florida, and we did a lot of river fishing.
Oh, yeah. Yep. There's some good, depends on what part of Florida.
I get that there's freshwater down there, but it's still.
I look at it this way: there's catfish, and then everything else is bait.
It still made me laugh. I apologize. I'm not.
No. He is near. He's right off 95.
I knew it.
Well, yeah. Who's not off 95? trying to think here. He's not far from Edgewater. And so
The hurricane just came through?
what's that?
The hurricane that just came through?
There was a hurricane? I didn't that's
In Edgewater?
that's the first I'm hearing about. It's not even hurricane season yet.
No,
Yeah.
I meant like a month and a half ago.
Ooh, no, we haven't had any hurricanes in the States since last November, October.
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Loki.
Now we've had some tornadoes with some storms.
He's saying hi.
Yep. So, but we also have some people up, that service Florida, near the Jacksonville area, because we've got people over in Georgia. So,
I'm from Nevada, so ignore me if I don't know the rest of the country's weather pattern. I thought there was something going on in Edgewater.
no, they might have had some major storms come through. That's
Like I said, all I get is what I hear from the news.
I hear you. No, I got you.
Yeah,
I'm definitely
last hurricane
I'm going to bow out
actually
of this
came
one. Out of ignorance. I apologize.
Oh no, there's no need to apologize whatsoever.
The last hurricane that I can remember that come through is the one that took and tore Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee to Haiti's and back.
Yeah.
Yep.
When was that one?
That was I want to say that
November,
was
wasn't it?
October, November.
October or November, yeah.
What was that one
Yeah.
called?
Reason why I asked about
I don't
Florida
remember what it was called.
is
Too many brain injuries.
yeah, right. Is I don't live but about an hour and a half from Panama City.
Okay.
I know.
So you're on the
I know.
Panhandle.
Yeah, well,
I
I'm
know.
in Georgia. Yes, I'm at the Panhandle.
Okay.
You're fine. I promise.
Oh, Loki.
You're okay. I promise.
And I don't do no long rides though.
Oh, I'm with
Oh.
you. Well, I think we have. I mean, the closest person we would have to you, really. Let me see here. Probably is. No, he's up in Alabama.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Up by Columbus. So yeah, we have no one really even near you.
Sarge, are you?
Let me.
Am I
let
okay?
me,
Yeah, okay. He has to be seen always. Anytime I'm live or doing anything, he has to be on camera, and he can never be more than 2 foot from me. Larry knows that. Brady knows that. Like,
I didn't
Yeah,
mention
right.
everybody else, but I have a service animal and he gets all up in my crap when I get stressed.
well,
So
he's my service animal.
he's your service animal,
Yes.
and so he's all up in your crap.
Well, he's all up in my crap always, no matter what, because he's just a
Sure.
big baby. He's still a baby too. He's not even 18 months old yet.
This is my service animal being all up in my crap.
All right, go lay down.
Huh?
Go lay down.
He's down here at my feet.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh, and I saw
I don't know
Hope.
if you can see mine, but
I saw Hope asked fishing for kids too. Well, what we do is if a vet wants to bring one of their kids with them,
Ozzy.
we have no problems with doing that, because I think when they get on the water, especially if they're dealing with some stuff and they got a family member with them, it helps build that bond and it helps build those memories together as a family.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
So,
and we
Operation-
occasionally we'll do things like up here. We've done some stuff with
Sir, can you sit down?
the Gold Star families. A lot of times
That's amazing.
we'll do things with the Navy out here, on the ships, if they want to get a few folks together as a ship and come. My son is on a ship stationed in Rota, Spain, and his ship's gonna be here sometime in June, And so I'm already talking to the chaplain on board the ship, and we're going to set up a couple days of trips so we can take some of their crew out.
That's awesome.
That's pretty much about what we do, man. We just enjoy taking folks
Where
out.
are you guys at? Where are you guys at in Missouri? Asking for myself.
Hold on, I still got the map up, so let me see here. Missouri. Okay, let me see Missouri. All right. So now I got to find where Missouri is again on this. All right. See, now my geographics are all thrown off here. So Missouri is over by what's the state?
Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. There. Well, all right. So
It's under Lake Superior.
okay. Oh, see that? Well, there's Lake Michigan, Lake Huron.
It borders Kansas and Illinois, Tennessee, Kentucky.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, me though,
All right,
because I get the same way.
All right. Hold on here. Let me see who we got. Hold on 1 minute here. I think I can. My map is so cluttered. Let me look at one other thing here. And I'd come live on camera, but I'm vaping here, so I've already been yelled at and everything else.
Mine's set to 18 and above. If you haven't noticed, I've been vaping on screen too.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know. Okay.
So generally, my lives are not 18 and above because I do a lot of stuff with my agency. But on the Warrior Wednesdays, it's always set to 18 and above.
Oh, right on. So
For me, I'm so used to doing VVCs with the VA. I keep everything clean on this end.
yeah, we're.
I'm not going full video.
Is in Wentzville. Does that ring a bell? Wentzville?
No, it does not.
Oh, you shut your mouth. Not
What?
you. Sorry. Oh my God. That was meant for.
I'm
Sorry.
like, what was that noise?
My bad.
Attack.
Sorry.
Your bra made that noise?
No. Sarge texted me. That was my text tone. No. Anyways.
Anywho.
Oh, okay. So now we're by. I think it's Saint. We got somebody in Saint Robert.
Okay.
Somebody up by. Is that Washington or?
Okay. I know those areas. So I'm about an hour and a half south of St. Louis.
Okay. All right. And we've got all right. So out south. So not really super south do we have anybody, but like I said, we've got somebody along 44 all the way down there by Fort Leonard Wood. We've got
It might, you know what? It might be worth the day trip for me to go out and go fishing.
well, I mean, a lot of our captains will travel too.
Okay.
So I've
Well, because I'm right where I live. I'm right off the Mississippi River.
Oh yeah.
Like literally 2 minutes from the Mississippi.
You said Fort Leonard Road wrong.
Fort Lost in the Woods.
Yeah.
Fort Lost in the Woods, Missouri.
Yeah.
And then we got a lot of folks outside. What is it? What's that? Well, St. Louis. We've got a few captains around there. Then we've got one captain that is right off the Missouri River.
Okay.
He's over in Three Oaks.
Okay.
Yeah, he's my state lead out there. So, yep.
That's awesome.
Do you have any in like Northeast Ohio?
Oh my gosh, do we?
Oh, awesome.
Oh my God. Probably Ohio is probably next to Virginia. Ohio is probably our biggest concentration. We've got southern, right there in Portsmouth? Is that the name of it?
Portsmouth, Virginia?
No. Here in Ohio, what's the name? Let me see here. We've got so many people. Let me see what's the town there.
My last duty station was
Portsmouth, and then we've got tons of folks all around Columbus. And then all as far as Cincinnati, and then as far up north as, let me see here in Ohio. What's this town close by, man? It's taking a while. Bowling Green. So Ohio, we've got a huge contingent.
Okay.
And all you gotta do is go to operationvetswithnets.org. Right in the middle of the page, it says request a trip.
Oh my God, you scared the shit out of me. Hold on. I gotta mute myself.
Wait. You're saying request a trip? Like I can come from Nevada to there?
Oh, if you want to go wherever you're at, if you try to tell me, hey, I want to take a trip somewhere, if you want to travel, we'll take you out.
Wow. Your organization is truly amazing.
So here is, let me see. Oh, I was going to show you guys my challenge coin. Hold on a minute. These are pretty.
I don't mean this in a selfish way for me, but for you guys actually bring people to you? Like if they're in a different area or a different state?
Oh. We aren't that big enough to where we could afford to pay for people's transportation. But if a vet's willing to travel, we're I got one captain that travels 5-6 hours to take a vet out.
Okay.
So here is the front of our coin. Let me see here. That's it right there.
Oh, that's a really nice coin.
Nice.
It's 2 1/4 inches,
Nice.
and then on the back is that right there. And,
I love that.
And in the middle of it, it says tomorrow needs you. And I think every vet that is dealing with PTSD, dealing with depression and contemplating suicide, just remember those words. Tomorrow needs you. Day, you're always needed one way or another, and we got to remind folks that suicide is not an option.
That's one of the things that I push and that I say all the time. My saying is, you've made it through 100% of your hardest days so far. And for that, I'm proud of you. Keep pushing forward. Just keep pushing forward. You got this.
Yep. And we have reach back capability. So if somebody's gone on a trip with us and they're just they're just having a hard day, pick up the phone. We always provide a safe space, and our captains all know not to bring up anything. Let that vet talk, and I tell my guys, the only time you ever mention anything outside of what happens on that boat is if you feel that vet is endangering to himself or of somebody else. then we've got an ethical,
a moral obligation at that point.
Absolutely. And so I said, anything else, I don't care if one of our other captains is your best friend. What's said on that boat stays exactly there. And most military folks know that. It's the civilians. I really got to make sure they understand that.
Thank you, Sassy. Yeah, no, and I've said this 100 times. Larry's heard me say it. Bradley's heard me say it. No one is going to take care of us and watch out for us like we are.
No, because nobody can understand what we've gone through.
And that's again another reason why I started this live every week, because of the fact that nobody understands, number one, how we talk to each other.
That's right.
Like TikTok community standards surely don't understand it.
No.
But
beats us up over it.
Yeah. So thank you. So it's, I wanted to have a safe space where we could come in, talk to each other, tell our stories, and they just be met with love and compassion. I'm all about spreading positivity and just helping people move forward all the time.
Absolutely. And truly that's what it's about. Folks have really got to, especially the folks that are going through some shit, that they've got to know they've got a safe place.
Yeah.
And there's no one to judge them.
Yep.
And that's just it. Sometimes folks just need to come out and vent and get some stuff off their chest, and they feel a lot better afterwards.
Absolutely.
But they got to be in an environment where they feel safe to do that.
Absolutely. Well, and this, I've been calling it a show lately because that's what I was told it was from the get-go. But I was picked up by Military Broadcast Radio, and we are streamed on every streaming service they have for these lives every week.
Right on. I'm trying to, I usually run a podcast every Thursday, and it shows on YouTube, it shows on Facebook, and through the software that I have, because I also, when I go to big events, I bring a media guy with me. We've got a big.
You got to follow Brian. If you want to come up, you're more than welcome.
And so, and with TikTok, it says I've got to have 10,000 followers before I could. There's a certain streaming code they give you that when you go live through this software, it'll pick it up and start broadcasting. I'm like, oh my gosh, I only got 1,300 followers or so. And I'm like, oh, how do I get to 10,000 so I can start doing this? And what we do is we've got a podcast on YouTube. It's called America's Finest Heroes Journey to Real Therapy. And what we do is our captains will come on saying they've taken a trip. And if that vet wants to come on to the podcast, then they'll talk about their day, just sharing that trip, with everybody, and there's been some times, man, there's some tear jerking stories. And, I had one guy schedule a trip, and it was coming up on the date, and I'm reaching out to him to make sure we're still good. And I haven't heard nothing. So I was still there that morning waiting at the boat landing, and he showed up, and I said, man, I'm glad, you're here. Let me help you with your stuff getting on board. And I could see the distraught in his face. And he was in a dark place for a couple of weeks. And he told me the night before he had a 45 in his mouth and was ready to bite a bullet, but something just kept telling him to come on this trip. Man, I broke down and lost it. We prayed together. We cried in each other's arms, and we got out there and we caught some fish. And, and to this day, he still reaches out occasionally, and I'll reach back out and chat with him a few, and that's what it's about.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, I had a really bad night, broke down. It was really pretty horrible. Had a long talk with this guy next to me the next morning. And I was like, I want to get back into doing why I started doing Facebook or TikTok lives. Because when I started doing lives, it was all veterans outreach and things like that. I started this to get out of my own head, and it's worked. But at the same time, I'm helping other vets get out of their heads as well.
And that's what it's about. That's why we call it Real Therapy. We were interviewed by one of the biggest news stations here in Virginia.
Hey, Hillbilly.
And Katie Collette, who did the interview, asked me, you're out there providing, your type of therapy, but now you're not fishing. So
things are going good, Hillbilly.
Is it still therapeutic for you? And I said, I think it's actually more therapeutic for me. Yeah. Even though all I'm doing is I'm getting all the rods out, I'm trolling, we get a fish on, I make sure the fish is on the line, I give it to the vet. I don't reel in nothing. It's all about him that day or her. And so I said, I get just as much therapy taking folks out than when I'm going out fishing on my own.
Yeah.
And that's
Missouri goes good.
That's truly what it's all about.
It really is. And, it's one of those things, man, like I say, and I say it all the time, nobody's going to watch out for us like we are. Nobody's got our backs like we are. Like I have IGY6 tattooed on my leg and it means something. Like I hold that near and dear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I just have to tell you, Sarge, I had to mute myself because the cop came and knocked on my door and was wondering why my car is parked out front and not in the driveway. And he goes, you can park on the street like that. That's fine. But normally you park in your driveway. And I'm like,
you said they were going past your car real slow too.
There's snakes under my deck, which is right next to my driveway. And
yeah, she's got an infestation of snakes.
I have a legitimate phobia of them. So the cop came up and knocked on my door and was like, hey, I live in a very small town. So they're like, why are you parking out front? Like, is something going on? And I'm like, I'm just afraid of snakes.
They're like
the snakes under my deck. Oh my
God. You're acting weird. What's going on?
Well, at least they're looking out for you.
Oh no. And it's crazy because this same cop, when I was at work on Saturday, I work at a local liquor store, right? And our card reader had been down for days, right? So we were only accepting cash and checks. And so I was at work until almost 11 p.m. at night, even though we closed at 10. And he was worried because he was like, normally I see you leave work at like 10:15, and it's 10:55 and you're still here. And
yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I locked the front door of the liquor store and he's knocking and he goes, hey, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, our card reader's broken. I had to count out a lot more money, from our till and do a deposit. So it took me a lot longer. And of course I fucked up till 10 minutes prior to us closing. So I had to fix that too. And he's like, I just want to make sure you're okay. And then same dude came out here and he's like, why is your car parked in front of your house and not in your driveway? I'm like, because there's fucking snakes and I don't want to right off my deck where I have to go to my car. And I'm like, and I'm just deathly afraid and I don't want to go anywhere near them. So I'm bringing out front.
Right after my mom bought her house a few years ago, she found out there were snakes in the attic. And I'd have been like, nope, I ain't moving at that point, not even moving my stuff in.
After what you just described, I would have risked the snakes.
Oh no, I'm I live in Minnesota. We don't really have venomous snakes or nothing like that. But my uncle has recently started to come over and like clean out under our deck, and that's when they started to come out, you know. And I went out the other day and I was walking down the stairs off my deck towards my car, and like 6 of them. 6 of them. Mind you, they're gardener snakes, but they just came slithering about, and I'm like, what? No, I can't do this. And I ran back in the house, and my grandmother lives with me too, and she's like, Rachel, you're a fucking chicken, you know? And I'm like, nope, I just, I don't have to go in my car. It's fine. Like, I don't need to get to my car. It's fine. And they all slithered to one spot and went in a little ball. And she put a broom down over them, over the deck, so that I could quickly run to my car. And ever since, I've been parking my car in a different spot so I don't have to even go anywhere near them. Because
funny.
They're so gross.
Well, listen, guys, I got to run. Tomorrow comes very quick. So,
all right, operators. Hey, if you want to DM me some of that information, and that way I can push it out to other vets.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hold on here. Let me see how I can do that.
I followed you, so you should just be able to go into the DM section.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, you be blessed, and I'll see you out there in TikTok land.
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
Later,
man. Evening. All right.
Have a good night.
You too. Hey, and watch out for those snakes.
Hey, Brad.
Yes.
You probably would have had a heart attack here about a week
Hold on,
ago
Loki.
if you'd been at my house.
4 minutes, Loki. Hold on. You can wait 4 minutes.
I mean, I live in Minnesota, and I live in a area where we don't really have venomous snakes, but they just creep me the fuck out.
Well, let me tell you what happened here. Grandbabies were all at the table eating.
Hold on.
Freya took and yipped, and I asked the kids which one of them hit her, and they're like, "We didn't touch her," and she flipped the water bowl over. I walk in there, and there is a 6-foot snake curled up next to the water bowl.
No.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the house.
I remember that.
In the house?
Hey, Stubbs.
No, I would burn down the whole house.
Now, here's the thing with that. I asked the kids, did y'all see this come in? Did y'all see where it come from? And the youngest grandson says, Grandpa, it come in from under that door. This child watched that snake come under the door into
and
the
didn't
house
say nothing to nobody.
That'd be one of my boys, I swear to God. Because
And
they
didn't
don't
say
mind
nothing to
snakes.
nobody.
No, nothing.
They probably do the same thing.
That's too funny.
I mean, I went to it's garbage day.
Needed a pet.
Right.
So it's garbage day for us, and so I have to go put out my garbage and recycling, right? And I just cleaned my cat's litter box, and right off the side of my deck, I don't even have to touch the ground. I can put stuff in the garbage, right? And so I'm dropping the litter box stuff in the garbage, and I see a motherfucking snake. I see a snake, and it's right by the garbage can. And I'm like, now, mind you, I live with my grandmother, okay? And I said, Grandma, it's all you to take out the fucking garbage can of the recycling because I can't do it. And she goes, oh, you chicken. I'm like, I can't do it. Normally, I bring out the garbage can in the recycling bin to the end of the driveway. But I'm like,
You're like,
Grandma, it's all you tonight.
Well, guys,
And
it's
she did. She brought it down there.
it's about
She goes,
that
"She's
time.
just a little chicken.
I'm gonna have to shut this down because with the radio station, I'm on a time crunch. I love having everybody in here every week. I want to thank everybody Larry, Brady, everybody that comes in every week and supports this. You guys don't know how much it means to me. The way that this has taken off. And I feel like we're doing a lot of good. I'm getting tons of positive feedback every week for what we're doing. So I want to thank you guys for that too. But I think this was a good show.
I think so.
And I will see everybody next week, same time.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.